My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, the follower, the true emperor of Rome, Marcus Aurelius, husband to a murdered wife, father to a murdered son. But I will have my revenge, in this life or the next. But
Fuck it, man. You're right there. YouTube, here's Krakoon again, bringing you another gameplay. Commentary, man. Here again, bringing you more Modern Warfare 3 like I do, using the ACR, getting the map diversity out there, bringing you a gameplay on Carbon. I've not brought you a gameplay on Carbon as of yet, but, you know, I'm using my whole kind of kill streak setup with the Overkill and the UMP on there as the secondary. Assault care package, obviously, be the Reaper, the Pave load, the Osprey gunner. Bang! Moving on with it, man. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think I've brought you a gameplay on Carbon as of yet. Then again, I might have, so I could fucking be contradicting myself completely. But I'm pretty sure I didn't. But I don't know. You got to take it for what it is when it comes down to it like this. This map as a whole, and kind of trying to work out the flow of this map. I don't know. It's an interesting map, you see, because it's very level. What's the word now? High orientated, if you understand what I'm saying like that, because it's kind of like, what's that map called now? For the love of me, I can't remember it. I can't remember the name of the map at all. But it's like, essentially, the map's always on a gradient, if you understand what I'm saying like that. If you spawn at one side, you're going to have to work up to get to the middle. So it's kind of like very kind of high orientated, kind of altitude, lockdown, sight lines, you know, all that kind of shit. It's interesting when it comes down to it like that, because when you see the map like as the kind of like the maneuvering and the routes that you use, and like how you see the different scale of it, like you've got the garages up at the top, and then you've got like the I can't remember what it's called, but then you've got the buildings kind of down at the bottom, and then the buildings kind of like off center each other, if you understand what I'm saying like that. Like obviously you've got that passage of like them freight crates, which kind of looks around the whole kind of boardwalk area. And I don't know, you can understand that it's obviously going to be very elevated, because you've got this whole kind of boardwalk system, like essentially in the middle of the map, and it's literally just a level above, like the ground level, if you understand what I'm saying like that. So it's all very high orientated, and it's a pretty easy map to work out the flow of and everything like that. If you understand what where they're going to be spawning from, and like you understand how to run it when you run at different spawns and shit like that, then it's usually pretty easy, because if you spawn at the bottom side, the likelihood is they're not going to spawn behind you, and that's a pretty rare thing to say within Modern Warfare 3, seeing as though a lot of the time it's like one of them situations where, oh shit, I've pushed up a little bit too far, they're going to spawn behind me. But in most cases, within this map anyway, if you're staying around here near the bottom, then they're always going to be spawning up at the top. The spawns are never going to, like, flip around on you, and you're going to get fucked from behind. Some cases, yeah, it may happen, like, maybe one person flanked all the way around, and then, like, a couple started spawning in. Or, like, the vice versa of that, maybe, like, you pushed up a little bit too far, and then, like, you got fucked up. But essentially, as you can see here, I've got an advanced UAV, and it's not mine, obviously. One of my teammates called it in. But you can see, like, the spawns and how the arrows are always staying at the top side of the map, and how the spawns aren't, like, as crazy as they usually are in this map. And it's interesting because the way I see it is, it's kind of like one of the map, like, shape and size. It's kind of like a, what do you call it now? A sand timer, like a timer glass or whatever you say like that, like, as in it's wider at both ends, but then it narrows in towards the middle, kind of bringing all the action in towards the middle. And you can kind of see it, but you'll be able to, maybe you'll be able to, like, understand what I'm talking about, how, like, it pivots towards the middle, and how, like, all lines kind of close in towards the middle, like the more kind of action orientated center of the map, if you understand what I'm saying like that. So it's interesting, really. I really do like Carbon. I mean, to start off with, to begin with, it's a bit hard to learn the flow and everything like that, because, like, as I said, you may be, like, trying to work out whether or not they are actually going to spawn behind you, whether they're not. You know, that whole kind of situation of us in, where you don't know whether or not they're going to spawn behind you. Like, at the beginning of the game, this is. You don't know where they're going to spawn, or if they're going to spawn behind you, or anything like that. But Essentially, it's pretty easy when it comes down to it like that, man. I'm serious. It's a very easy map to learn and to navigate, and generally, I don't know. It all comes down to the fact of it again of is adapting and everything like that. But I'm trying to think of like a map that I can compare it to, like within a previous Call of Duty and stuff like that. But I don't know. This map's kind of on like a level of its own because it's kind of all broken down at the same time by all these interior like. Well, some are big, some are small, but it's kind of all broken down by these small interior buildings and stuff like that. Like, the action will pivot out of like tight doorways and you'll see people in windows and stuff like that. It's kind of like one of them maps where I don't know, I wouldn't consider it head glitching because it's not really like a full-on head glitching spot or anything like that, but well, no, not a spot. It's not like a full-on head glitching map or anything like that. It's more about sight lines and choke points and chokehold points. That's what this map does very well, is it goes and it kind of traverses from open like combat areas to enclosed sight lines to chokehold points. So everything me, I love it. I love this map. I don't know why. But it's 32 to 4. That's the end of the gameplay. I wrapped it up. Bring it as I could do, and that's it for now. And peace.